Here with Endicott football head coach Kevin DeWall, getting ready to preview this weekend's matchup against Curry. As usual, coach, before we do that, let's talk about the win over Coast Guard last week, 28-17 win. Just give me your overall thoughts.
Very solid team win for our guys. We were pleased going on the road. Had a lot of opportunities for some younger guys because of injuries and whatnot that need to step up. And the game played out kind of how we thought. Coast Guard, being a tough, disciplined team, came out and scored on the first possession right away. Took a 7-0 lead. Probably one of our defensive backs could have played the ball a little bit better in the air. Didn't. They made the play. But our guys at this point have kind of been pretty resilient throughout the year and came back. We answered 7-7 and then took the lead 14-7. And I was really thought we had a couple opportunities maybe to push it to a 2-possession lead right there before half, and we didn't, but we made a couple halftime adjustments and came back. Probably one of our better overall team wins of the year in terms of really not too many individual accolades in terms of one or two guys really taking over the game. It was a lot of guys, a lot of guys rotated through. Offensive balance between the run and the pass, and obviously Chris Lipscomb had a pretty good day statistically, but was one of many guys touching the ball, and it was a good mix between the run and the pass. And then on defense, they were a highly potent passing offense that our guys did a pretty good job. Other than like I said, the first possession where we probably had one miscue, we did a pretty good job bottling up their passing offense, making them one-dimensional, and then ultimately pushed it to the 2-3 possession lead late in the game, and they got one late, but it was a good quality team win all around.
Coach, you mentioned Chris Lipscomb. Just talk about him a little bit. Career highs in receptions and yards. Also had 2 touchdowns. What does he do out there that makes it difficult for defenses?
Well, Chris is he's a all around. He's just a solid athlete. I mean, he's a 6'3", so matchup problem for some smaller defensive backs. He's got good speed. Probably his best asset is playing the ball in the air in terms of, he's obviously a very good basketball player for our basketball team here, and we feel like that's like going up and getting a rebound for him. And he had a couple opportunities where he's done that. He's a good possession receiver. We were able to get him over the top. But he's very coachable, and that's why I tip my hat off to him. A lot of what he did on Saturday were some things we had really worked on throughout the week, and he executed. But that only comes with good pass protection, which our O-line, gave up, gave our quarterbacks very good time to throw the ball, and then our quarterbacks are starting to kind of get a little bit more accurate with their reads and their rhythms, and I think that's shown in our passing game the last couple of weeks as well.
Coach, on the defensive side, Jessie Simone, third-time NEFC Defensive Rookie of the Week accolade, leading all student athletes in that category, obviously just a touch ahead of Travis Bouncy and Grayson Maddox, who both have 2 in the conference. Just talk about Jessie's game last week.
I think Jessie played like we thought. That we knew they were going to attack our defensive backs, and I don't blame most teams for trying to do that. We're pretty young back there, and we started 2 freshman corners, and then we got a couple of juniors and sophomores mixed in the defensive backfield. But Jessie was in the right position, had a chance to make a play, had the interception, but had a couple breaks on some balls. He's gotten better throughout the year, which is what we're pleased with his progress. But the nature of the Rookie of the Year or Rookie of the Week award, we've been able to play a lot of young guys, and you mentioned Grayson and Travis, and then on offense we've had a couple guys. The reality is I think we're playing more younger guys than most other teams, and with that comes some trials and tribulations with some younger guys, playing like a young group of guys. But at this point in the season, we don't really consider them freshmen anymore. They've been playing most of the year, and it was good to see Jessie step up and have another productive day. And ultimately, similar to how it was last year in terms of a lot of those Defensive Rookie of the Week accolades, it comes because we're playing younger guys who are a part of the future of our youth movement kind of moving forward.
Coach, let's transition to the matchup against Curry this weekend. Just give me your overall thoughts on that game and what we might expect.
Yeah, unfortunately, we all know this is going to be our last game of the year, so there's a different focus where we had hoped we were going to be playing on for some postseason, some games on after this weekend. But we're going to travel down to Curry. It's their senior day. The very, very good passing offense. That's where they're getting majority of their yardage is on offenses in their passing game. Their quarterback's the leading rusher. So needless to say, it's going to be a spread attack where they're going to try to chuck the ball around against our defensive backfield. And we're going to need a good potent pass rush if we're good up front. I think our linebackers are going to have to mix in some things in the coverages and some pressure. And then really our defensive backs are going to have to be sound on what they're doing, because these guys can be dangerous. They have 2 or 3 of the better receivers in our conference, both statistically and with experience. And then on the other side of the ball, they've mixed up their game plans week to week. They're not afraid to bring 7, 8, 9, 10 guys up within 3 yards of the ball and blitz everybody. And then there's also some times where they're going to sit back and have their secondary kind of mix up some of the coverages. So I think if we're playing well, we'll be able to try to match a balanced attack on offense like we did last week with a defense that's opportunistic when the ball's in the air. And ultimately, we know. Last year's game was a 4 overtime game with them. A couple bounces either way could have gone a lot of different ways. But our guys are focused on trying to finish the season the right way, knowing that unfortunately we don't have the postseason option this year. But we talk about getting our next 1-0, and Curry's going to be our next 1-0. Our focus this week. We respect every opponent we face, regardless of the record. And honestly, at this point, it sounds cliche, but it's true. All the focus has been on us all year long. It's how we play well. When we've played well, we've done well. And when we haven't quite played up to our potential, those are some of the games that we've either let slip away or we gave away. So the focus has always been and will always be on us. We respect every opponent, but it all comes down to how we do. And if we're playing well, I like our chances.
All right, thank you, Coach, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.